whatever your skill level. I'm super excited to share these no-sew, scissors only, simple alterations, and absolutely epic upcycles with you. Hi everyone, I'm Angelina and this is Blueprint DIY, where we remake our clothes to be just as unique as us. We've been so busy with our Upcycle Dream Wardrobe that I never got a chance to give you guys a review of all the amazing upcycles we did in 2022. First, we're gonna start off with 6 no-sew and scissors only upcycles. So we're gonna start off with this really cute mini ruffle dress. I did this with my scissors only technique. I had done it previously on a shirt and I wanted to see if I could make a cute little dress. What I did was take an additional t-shirt, cut layers of it, and then I made some t-shirt yarn, used a safety pin, and weaved the t-shirt yarn in between to create this ruffle effect. And I will tell you, everything that I'm sharing with you does have a full, slow, step-by-step tutorial linked in the description box below in the exact order that I am listing this here, so you don't have to miss it. All right, so next up is this oversized t-shirt that I wanted to give a little pizzazz to. I love crop shirts, but sometimes I get tired of the regular crop, and so I decided to do this inverted circle crop. I love this. It left the sides hanging. You can tie it in the front or in the back if you'd like to, but I just like them hanging down. It's just a cool little design element, and scissors, literally just scissors. Next up, I wanted to make a fringe set with the t-shirt. So I had 2 t-shirts that I used for this, and I cut them underneath the arms, cut slits along the side, and just tied them, like literally just tied them, and that was my skirt. And then for the top, I made a fringe top as well with just one long band, tied it to the front of me, and just made the fringe in the front. That is it. Scissors only, you guys. Man, like, you've never upcycled before, this is definitely the place to start. Just get you a cheap little t-shirt from the thrift store, something you don't care about, and just learn how to cut it up. Once you get used to cutting, then you'll have more courage to move up to other things. And next up is one of you guys' favorite, is the scissors only sundress. This was made out of 6 or 7 t-shirts, and I used the part underneath the arms to layer them, and did that same process where I took the t-shirt yarn and weaved it in and out with the safety pin, and this is what I got. I absolutely love that you can just use simple techniques to just create amazing things. You can do that on the sleeves, and I'll show you that later. You can do it wherever you want and just use that and just let your creativity run wild. And next up, I showed you guys how simply to crop t-shirts, jeans, different things like that. If you want to crop a t-shirt, and in this video I also go into what type of scissors you need. A lot of people think that you need super expensive scissors. All you need is a fresh pair of scissors that haven't cut paper, and you can use this to crop anything, and it'll give you a nice sharp edge. Cut it straight across and you can crop anything. All right, so next up is this super crop shrug. These are really in right now, and did you know that you can take a tightly woven sweater and cut it off and it will not ravel? Yes, it won't ravel, but if you're afraid of it raveling, you can always add freight check at the end, but this one has nothing on the ends and it's doing well. All I did was cut it straight across and then add a curve in the front. And that's it. I'm loving this. All right, so next up I have 10 ways that you can alter your clothes or fix them to fit you. Now, some of these are still no-sew, but some of them are simple sewing. So first up is a no-sew, another scissors only, where I wanted to extend the sleeve length of some t-shirts. And I used that same method that I used before with the t-shirt yarn and the safety pin. And I took an extra t-shirt and I was able to make bell sleeves on the end. You can even add some yarn in the middle to make it a bubble sleeve, however you want to do it. I thought this was super cute, giving me total Elvira vibes. But I also was able to take another like graphic t-shirt. Like, you know, when you go to the thrift store and they have all those graphic t-shirts, like nobody wants them. They're like family reunion t-shirts, stuff like that. I took a long sleeve one and cut the sleeves off of that and put it on a t-shirt that I actually liked and wanted to keep, and I was able to extend the sleeves and give it a really cool detail. So we talked about cropping everything, but what if you want to crop a jacket? You always have the problem of, well, then how do I shorten the zipper? So I had this denim jacket and I wanted it cropped. I have a very short torso, so most things need to be cropped, so I always come up against that zipper problem. But I finally learned how to shorten a zipper, and it's easier than you thought, and I teach you in this tutorial. And I also wanted to show you guys how to make a little ruffle mini dress out of a dress shirt. And so this was a really easy way. Just take an extra men's dress shirt, cut off layers out of it, gather it, and add it to the bottom of another dress shirt. And there you go, a ruffle dress. And you can make your layer as long as you want, depending on how long you want the dress. And once again, we already talked about those t-shirts at the thrift store that have those graphics that nobody wants. Nobody will buy them and they'll end up in the landfill. Not here. I give you 3 options right here on how you can take those t-shirts and alter them so that you can, one, like this one, this Walmart t-shirt, you can use it to your advantage. And then just take the front of one and add it to the back of another one, combine them with that scissors only technique, and you'll have a totally new shirt. And if you happen to have a smart cutting machine like a Cricut, then you can use vinyl to cover over the parts that you don't like and put new graphics like I did here. And lastly, if you really want to use your sewing skills to your advantage, you can just take the pieces of the t-shirts that you like and combine them into an exposed seam tank top like you see right here. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Definitely hit that subscribe button down below and turn on all notifications so you don't miss a thing. If you're loving these upcycles, you don't want to miss what we do next. This Dream Pinterest wardrobe series that we're working on is absolute fire, so you don't want to miss it. And if you need a little bit of help in your upcycles to plan them out, I do have a digital as well as a hard copy planner that's available for purchase. I'll put the links up and down below. And if you're already a subscriber and you want to be a member, you want behind the scenes as well as extra content, or maybe you want online one-on-one classes with me, definitely hit that join button down below to learn more. And here is one of my absolute favorites. I have, like I said, a short torso but long legs, and so a lot of times I can't find pants long enough for me, and so I decided to go to the thrift store and find a dress that has that seam like it's supposed to go right underneath your chest. That way I knew it would be enough length to make pants for me, and those wide leg plissé pants are just everywhere right now. And so I simply took them, cut them into a pants pattern. Like I said, something else that you guys, I'm sure you think is harder than it is, but once you get this down, you'll be turning everything into pants. Next up, what if you have a baggy top, something that's too wide on the sides, and you just simply want to take it in? In this tutorial, I took both a sweater as well as a men's dress shirt, and I took them in. Now for my purposes, I wanted more of that Y2K vibe where it's kind of open in the front, but you can absolutely use this for any shirt that you just simply want to take in. You just turn it inside out and put it on and pin how much you want to take in, and then you lay it flat, mark it, and then go sew it, and you're done. And it's the same thing if you want to take in a skirt. If you have a skirt that has no pockets or anything on the side, you can definitely take it in. Once again, turn it inside out, pinch it so that it fits you, pin it down to where you want it to fit, lay it flat, mark it, and sew it. And that is it. Now you have a skirt that fits you. And I know what you're saying. Okay, well, what if it has pockets? What if the pants have pockets? What if the shirt have pockets? I also got you right there as well. I had these corduroy overalls that I wanted to cut the top part off, but I also needed to make it fit. If you can't touch the side, there are other ways to take your clothes in. You can pinch it both sides in the front and take it in, or even on the back. Whether it has back pockets, you can do it underneath the pockets and put it back on, however you want to do it. In this case, I did take it right down the front, took 2 seams right down the front, and made these corduroy pants fit without messing with the sides. And then what if you want to add pockets? So many clothes, especially women's clothes, come without pockets. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. They think we don't need pockets, but you can take the power back into your own hands and add pockets. Yes, the little side pockets that come in just like a regular pair of like lounge pants, those are super easy to add in. You just take some scrap fabric, cut almost like a little dog ear shape, and fold it out, add it into the side, close it up, and now you have pockets. All right, so what if you're saying, nah, I know what you do, and I want the good. I want the turning nothing into something like throwaway into designer. That's what you do, and that's what I want. Yes, I can give you that. That's what we're here for. I took this men's suit and I turned it into a skirt. I like skirts, but I like skirts better. And then I also cropped the blazer and added some graphics on the side. And this is one of my Blueprint signature pieces now, and I just love it. I love it. And the amount of men's suits that are out there just probably going to the landfill every day. I mean, we could be rescuing so many, and yes, this was just so good. And next up, I wanted to take some t-shirts and just turn them into just like a little tank top with a little peplum. Super easy to do. Now, one thing about me, if I make a mistake, I am going to let you guys know, because I want to help you guys avoid the same mistakes that I'm making. I'm not out here trying to say that I'm perfect, because if you guys think I'm perfect, you'll be less likely to try to do these things. So I started these tank tops off. I don't know what I did, what I was thinking, but it went awry. But that gave me some opportunities to turn these things into something that I would actually like. And that's exactly what I did. I made some adjustments, and this is what we came up with. One is a no sew scissors only, and the other one is a sewing tutorial, and I love them both. And then next up is also a 2-for-1. I have been seeing these denim like belts, and now they're actually selling them, but you can make one. You can make it scissors only, like a no sew, just cut off the top of some jeans, wrap it around you, and you got a belt, and you're done. Like literally, you're done. But of course, you guys know that we always have to explore and take things to the next level. And I had been seeing like garter style things, and I really thought that this would be a great concept for this style belt. And so I cut it in a garter like pattern and added clips at the end. And you will never believe where that took us. That took us to where this denim belt can actually be flipped over and turned into a top. Yes, we have a denim belt that actually turns into a top. And yes, the innovation just keeps going and going and going, and I'm loving it. And next up, we also did another 2-for-1. I tried to do a lot of 2-for-1s last year because you guys were really looking for some more no sew upcycles. So first up, we took a dress shirt, and we wanted to create this kind of like looped over the neck top. We cut off the collar and connected in the back. And that's what we have. And of course, you can close this top up to be more modest if you like, or layer it however you want to do it. But then we also did the same thing with the t-shirt with that scissors only method. And this turned out to be a really cool top to stay cool in the summer. All right, so next up, because of that denim corduroy taking in the pants thing that we did, because we did add the overall piece back, you guys wanted to see me make a denim bralette. And so I used those pieces as a pattern in order to create a denim bralette. I added some graphics, and this was part of the exploration part of it, because I really wanted to make it fit. Like I wanted to make it fit well, and that's how we ended up with that back piece in the back. And then I was like, hey, let's just add some graphics, make it a whole thing, and this is what we came up with. And yes, this is so cool. And here's a piece that I saw that was inspired by some of the runway shows I saw last year, not even knowing that it would be so much more relevant this year, because I think everybody was inspired by trench coats last year. Must have, because I'm seeing so many more on the runway this year. But I took a trench coat and I turned it into a skirt and add these fringes down at the bottom. If you don't want to add the fringes, you don't have to. You can just make yourself a mini skirt, a maxi skirt, whatever you can manage with the length of your trench coat. But this is just something that, yes, you're going to see more of. We saw trench coat inspired things so much on the runway, so I think that we're going to start seeing them more in the stores as well, and you can get a good jump on it by just thrifting a cheap trench coat and upcycling it yourself. Next up, I was inspired by this Free People romper. I wanted to make my own, and so I thrifted an oversized shirt, added the little cutout at the bottom to turn it into a shorts, and then added a zipper in the front so that I can get into it, and that's it. Next up is something else that I did last year. I just be coming up with stuff sometimes, and I had this Adidas shirt, and I just wanted to make it a ringer tee, but it had a cut or a stain or something on it, and so I decided to make it asymmetric. This is my exploration into ribbing and like the seam binding and different things like that, and so I did that. And then when I did that, I was like, I need to do some layering pieces. I loved how on the runways last year, a lot of things were layered with cutouts. And so I wanted to give that effect. And so I took this fishnet top and I cut it off into that shrug style that we talked about at the beginning. And then I added a clip in the middle to just give this really nice effect, like street style effect. And I really like this because I can definitely take this piece and layer it with other things, and separate they're cool, together they're cool. And like I said, who doesn't love a good 2-for-1? And next up, something else super easy. In that tutorial where I teach you how to cut, we also take these jeans. I love a good Gloria Vanderbilt vintage jean from the thrift store. They're nice and high-waisted, but like kind of baggy on the thighs. And I've been seeing this type of jean selling for $1,000, and all it has is slits on the side. So I thrifted some jeans and I slit them on the side, threw them in the washing machine so that it would distress them perfectly, because it does washer and dryer every time for me. Took it out, and these are actually some of my favorite pair of jeans even now. And next up, we know that cargo, like everything is cargo now. Everything has cargo pockets right now. And so we started that exploration last year by taking a pair of just regular work pants like chinos, and we made them into a skirt. So that's part of the tutorial. I show you how to make it into a mini skirt, and then I show you how to make the pockets that go on the front to make it a cargo mini skirt. We actually do use this technique again this year because we just made cargo jeans, and the same technique, the pockets that we use for that, we also use for the jeans. So I'm super excited that our skills are layering on top of one another so that we can just continue to build and continue to get better and better and better. And then next up, I have been seeing harnesses. I love harnesses. This is a trend that I am just loving, and so I decided to take the sleeve of a leather coat and decided to just make my own asymmetric harness. I just put it on top of me, all different types of ways on me, and figured out how I wanted it, drew on it where I wanted to cut those pieces off and connected them, and then added some straps and some connections. And that's it. A bunch of you guys have done this one, and I love seeing your results. Definitely keep sending them to me on Instagram. DM me however you want to send it, or tag me. I love seeing them. And at the very beginning of the year, when it was still cold, we took some sweaters and turned them into balaclavas. They were on the runway a lot last year. You're going to continue to see them. If you want to make your own, it is super simple. Just take a sweater, cut out the shape, sew it up, and there you have your own sweater balaclava. And last up, which is the best up, is when we were inspired by this Alexander McQueen denim puffer jacket, and we made our own using a denim jacket and a vintage puffer jacket that I found, and we put them together and came up with this, which was the first video in our Upcycling My Dream Pinterest wardrobe, and it set it off. It set the bar high as far as series go. But oh, it was just such a great beginning to this. I did mine exactly how I wanted it, and I love it. And that's just the reason why we upcycle. We can buy, you can pay thousands of dollars for something designer, but for me, I just love when it's me. It's just for me. It was made for me. I did it exactly how I wanted it. So if you're at all interested in upcycling, I have given you guys all the way from just scissors only all the way to the most epic, amazing upcycles ever. Whatever your skill level, just work past your fears of cutting, and you guys can just make the most amazing wardrobe. Just pieces that you're gonna love for years and years and years to come. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Definitely let me know in the comments below which ones you're interested in making for yourself. If you guys are still afraid to cut clothes, let me know in the comments too. I'll pump you up and root for you, and be patient until you get ready to do it. We have plenty of people here that have been watching for years and still haven't gotten to that point, but I'm still working on you. All right, definitely check that Upcycling My Dream Pinterest wardrobe series. Get caught up on that, and I will see you guys in the next one. All right, bye.